Peter. We're going to continue the exploration of the radius of curvature of all natural law with an introductory PowerPoint presentation. Our expanding view of energy. The basis of the radius of curvature concept derives from an expanded version of Einstein's E is equal to mc squared equation, whose roots can be traced to Einstein's 1928 incomplete but testable and tested portions of his unified field theory. The nonlinearity of physical law reveals the radius of curvature of all natural law. As incredible as it may appear, still today I question with comments to articles similar to Space Daily's topic, April the 9th, entitled The Molecular Octopus, a little brother of Schrodinger's cat. How could science be so close for so long, late 1940s, and still not comprehend superposition and a wave-particle duality? I reference a link to my own 2001 article, Expanding the Window to Reality, subtitled Dice, Schrodinger's Cat, Insurance Statistics, and Common Sense. The cat can't be alive or dead at the same time. Presenting a foundational awareness and clarity that comes with the application of the radius of curvature. The repercussions of continuing the stalemate in the idling standard model of physics, creating the hidden variables as referenced by David Bohm, or the foundational problems and the trouble with physics by Leo Smolin, cannot be overstated. When great strides are made in science, we must continually be on guard not to close the doors to future progress. It is dangerous indeed when a proclamation comes down from Newton's chair that almost everything is known and what little is missing would not make a difference in 15 million years. That kind of belief can strangle a whole planet, as the state of the world today attests. The contemporary tiny flat world scientific energy definition box has got to go if we as a civilization are to survive, evolve, and equate modern science with the quality of life for all. The radius curvature of all natural law intro with links to full details on star steps. This radius equated to the velocity of light will show how the law is curved and not the space. Out of eons past, the yin-yang symbol beckons. More than a pretty picture, more than the principle of opposites, more than a sine wave. This icon symbolizes the missing link to the unified field theory and the radius of curvature of all natural law. Distance-time barrier dissolving. The complete interdependence of space-time, mass, matter, energy, and fields. Self-evident, it is a smaller world today because physical size has been substituted by speed. The obstacles of great distances and vast time appear to diminish before our very eyes. More precisely, space-time and position are increasingly being substituted by greater energy differentials of velocity and acceleration. The multidimensional question surfaces. Can this same effect be created by factors other than velocity? What role may varying degrees of frequencies and fields play in transmuting space, time, in providing access to available energy capacities through gravitational mass differentials? We may also want to rethink our concepts, definitions of space and time. The nonlinearity of physical law, the necessity of an accurate determination of the radius of curvature of natural laws was first realized perhaps by the late Dr. Einstein. As long as we were dealing with quantities that could be observed with the unaided eye or with simple instruments, we were unable to detect the curvature, in effect causing a symbolic repeat of the historical flat earth perception. When we began to reach into the micro and macrocosm, the curvature and its radius, supported by fractals and chaos theories, should have become obvious. In almost every textbook on physics in the world today, the statement is made that the quantity c is a constant representing the velocity of light. Yet every student in the world who has studied the subject knows that the velocity of light is not a constant, that its velocity in fact varies slightly with each different medium through which it is propagated, and a change in velocity varies with the frequency. Fortunately, there is a value to which the quantity c can be assigned, which is a constant. Moreover, the assignment of the quantity c to this factor makes possible a much better understanding of the natural laws involved in the propagation of energy. The quantity c is actually the kinetic energy equivalent of the mass energy of matter. The quantity c is actually the kinetic energy equivalent of the mass energy of matter. In other words, if we take a gram or any other quantity of matter, Newtonian mass, and convert that matter gradually into energy according to the formula E is equal to mc squared, and the resultant energy, as it appeared, were constantly applied to the remaining matter in such a way as to accelerate it uniformly in a given direction. When all the matter had been so converted, we would find that we had zero Newtonian mass, infinite inertial mass, and a resultant velocity equal to the quantity c, or approximately 3 times 10 to the 10th centimeters per second, with respect to the given reference point or starting point. The maximum velocity attained would always be the same, regardless of the quantity of matter with which we started. The energy required to accelerate each gram of mass to the velocity c through energy conversion is exactly equal to the total energy inherent in any matter having that mass. This fact forms the true basis of the statement in our present-day physics, that the velocity c is a maximum or limiting velocity since it represents the greatest kinetic energy differential which can exist between two given reference points. When we state that quantity c is the radius of curvature of all natural law, we mean simply that if a differential of energy equal to this quantity exists between the observer and the point which he is observing, the natural laws will be suspended. If the energy differential is in excess of the quantity c, the laws will appear to operate in reverse at that point. Let there be light becomes enhanced with a far more practical meaning. It could be said everything we see and touch is light in motion or light stationary. Understanding the radius of curvature concept permits anyone to know without a doubt that the following applications have long since been possible with our advances in science and technology. Field-dependent propulsion, fields and applications of anti-gravity, polarization of gravity, special hydrogen and water technologies, field-related, instant cheap hydrogen for fuel cells, faster than light transportation, movement, transference from one point to another without going through all points in between, transmutation of elements, periodic table, application from one element to the next, short-sighted misinterpretations of relativity as an object approaches the speed of light, its mass becomes infinite, are brought back to common sense and swiftly correct to the increasing mass of the target is only the measure of the kinetic energy differential which exists between the specified reference points. While we have repeatedly referred to this quantity C as an energy differential, we have heretofore considered it only in terms of kinetic energy. Some may believe it can be reached only when there is a state of increase or decrease in the degree of separation between the reference points, equal to 3 times 10 to the 10 centimeters per second, or in simpler terms, a velocity equal to that of light. It is necessary, therefore, to point out the fact that an energy differential does not necessarily manifest itself as a velocity. It can also exist as a frequency. Our present laws of physics state that the energy level upon which an electron, a photon, or other particle exists is proportional to its frequency of vibration. The mathematical rule E is equal to Fh, where E is the energy, F is the frequency, and H is a factor called Planck's constant. We can now see that a frequency differential, which by the above formula is equal to 9 times 10 to the 20th ergs per gram, also represents the quantity C. When such a frequency differential exists between the observer and the point he is observing, we again find that the natural laws at the observed point reach zero value with respect to the observer. If the frequency differential exceeds this value, the action of the laws will become negative. In material objects such as a spacecraft upon or near the surface of the Earth would cease to exist as matter and would enter the plane of energy insofar as the observer on Earth was concerned. But as we previously have pointed out, an observer upon or within the object, whose frequency or energy level has been raised to the same degree as that of the craft, would be unable to detect any change. In short, the quantity C is a measure of the radius of curvature of natural law. It is a factor which will enable us to determine precisely the degree of change in the curvature of one law, which will be brought about by specified change in the application of the others. It is a factor which will eventually tell us how to place our transport vehicles in either the positive or negative portion of the gravitational curve with respect to the Earth or any other planet which we may choose to visit. Another major point from star steps, the shape of the gravitational curve is modified not only by the mass present, but also by the number and position of the electrical charges, referring not only to the charges in the outer shell of the atom, but also to those within as well, and especially to the fact, not always realized, that the neutron possesses both a positive and negative charge, although when united within a neutron, they are not discernible as charges, but exist as energy which produces the gravitational field. When a better understanding of the laws is acquired, we will be able to produce any shape of curve we desire within these variable and interdependent factors of space, time, mass, matter, energy, and gravity through the common denominator of vibration frequency. Thank you.